What's up, everybody? I'm Sly the Movie Guy, and here's my movie review on A Quiet Place, directed by John Krasinski, starring him as well with Emily Blunt and the rest of the other cast and crew. And in this film, a family of four is forced to live in silence while hiding from mysterious creatures that hunt by sound. And usually with horror films we get every year, usually are let down, some of them are good. And this film, I would have my expectations were low, but when I saw some of the trailers on YouTube, didn't know what to expect. I was like, it looks interesting. Didn't know for sure, because usually horror films, like I said, they turn out bad. But I left out the movie theater actually surprised. To me, this is an original horror film, and it's a totally different horror film. They're both original and different at the same time. What I like about this is it really takes this approach very differently. And what I like about it is how the movie just got me invested already in the beginning, because this movie just started. When the movie started, I'm right into it. I'm like, oh, this movie's already starting off. It didn't get too exhibition. It does, you get to learn these characters, but it didn't start off the film like that. And I like how they went with that approach. And the part I liked is how they make us learn the characters, how the characters interact with each other. That's what the film is surprising how they did that. Which I mean is, it's not a lot of dialogue, even though there is some in the film, like towards the middle and the last act of the film. It shows our characters communicating by sign language and giving gestures, and that really it surprised me because it makes us an audience know what they're talking about instead of dialogue going at dialogue. Usually horror films have dialogue, which is not a bad thing, but some horror films do a good thing and bad thing. This one is really good because how they do it, and we get to understand it. And I think as an audience, we gotta understand that what we gotta look at that like, yeah, that's what they're doing and surviving, because they have to do that, because once they make a sound like drop something or with a sound on a phone or something, they basically are messed up after, and the creature is gonna kill them. And this film just leaves you on the edge of your seat because you don't want nobody dying. You are with these characters. You want to root for them. You on their side. You want them to survive so badly. And this film makes that. And I give props to the writers and the director, John Krasinski. They did well, especially John Krasinski. And he's the guy that came from The Office. If you have watched the show, I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. He's on it, and this is a comedian guy turned director. Almost similarities to Jordan Peele, kind of. But this is not like a comedy horror film. This is basically a suspense drama thriller horror film, and it gives goosebumps when you watch it, because the surviving, when certain scenes get you hooked, you're like very hooked. You're like, and you just get invested. And I like how when stuff happens in the beginning of the film, you kind of learn things, and when a bad thing happens, this family is mournful about certain things that happen, and then you see them and you really flow with that. And acting does well in this film, especially from John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. Let me get into Emily Blunt. My God, she's a good actress, but my goodness, some of the scenes what she do, the scare or the frightening face, she does so well. She's excelled on it. Because in her situation, and I'm not going to spoil it, I was just on her side. I was just rooting for her. Everything, it was just like edge. Like my whole body got chills when I was sitting in my seat. I was just like, oh. I sometimes had my hand over my mouth, didn't know what to expect, didn't know what was going to happen. I just like, this movie just, it's so great. It's so much to talk about. The other casting do well, and John Krasinski, he does so good. Him and Emily Blunt, since they really are couples in real life, he does a freaking phenomenal job as the father and husband in this film. It feels so real. He does, and what I mean by that is it felt real when him and Emily Blunt is communicating, and they have great chemistry on screen, good chemistry as the couple. You could figure out that they're trying to survive, and they thinking, what should we do with the kids and all that, and they trying to think in this little silent dialogue that they had to do so they won't die in the situation that they're in. And John Krasinski excels on that, and he excels on when he's talking to the kids, and the kids that's acting in this film, they do so good. This whole film, everybody was like on their A game, and I like that. The A game was just so on. If they made you feel like you're in this environment, because I feel like I was in this film, this situation where you see them, you want them to survive, and when something drops, like I said in the interview, they just screwed. And when that happens, when I saw that in the film, I was like, oh no. I just couldn't believe it. I was just like, it just got my heart racing, and I was just like, oh my goodness. Everything was good. I thought everything worked in this film so perfectly. As far as the negatives, the problems I have with the film was a little bit things where the characters, like how they survive and stuff. There's certain things I was like, how they had this and that. Those are one of the things I kind of had issues with. One of them is like stuff that I think we should know about, like stuff that they didn't explain in the film. Some of the stuff they did explain, I kind of wanted to see more of that. I kind of want to see it because it's kind of, and in the middle of the film, that like in the second act, it's kind of a little slow. But I think they were giving us like a little bit more like development with the characters, which is not a bad thing. Just a little kind of went slow. But that was just one of those. Those are like some of those negatives and flaws you can like kind of overlook, because this film just kept you like focused the whole time of these characters that you just can overlook that. And I think this film does well on that, on the directing and the writing and the acting. Overall, I think this is a film that everybody should check out. This is one of the best drama slash horror thriller films I've seen in 2018. Hopefully there's more in 2018. Because this is one of my favorite films of 2018, and I'm going to give A Quiet Place a solid A. I just love good movies, and I think this movie will surprise you when you check it out. I want y'all to go to the movie theater and have a blast with this. Anyways, guys, just tell me, what do you think? Did you like it? And what are your thoughts about the film? Leave those opinions and comments down below. And as always, if you like this video, click thumbs up. Or if you're new to the channel, click subscribe. That's why I can see you next time on Sly the Movie Guy. Peace.